Everyone, welcome back to Cogent English. And today I'm here with a brand new HSA English series, a poetry written by Meena Alexander, A House of Thousand Doors. So, as you know, she is an Indian poet. So, in this video, I'm gonna include the summary, the detailed analysis of the poetry, and at the end of the video, you can watch the MCQs, the most important MCQs from the poetry. So, let's get started.
Meena Alexander explores in A House of Thousand Doors the effects of colonization and exploitation and what lies between the surface of lives. She waits for the right image and word to capture the same. The house in this poem is reminiscent of A.K. Ramanujan's small scale reflections on a large house, that is, at once emblematic of the Indian culture. This particular house has 1,000 doors, referring to its vibrancy and its openness to guests, foreign ideas, and new aspects of culture. Moreover, it abides by the concept of Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam and keeps its door open for guests. However, perhaps it was this positive aspect that proved to be a disaster for India. As the colonial powers spread the network of their web in India, utilizing trade as a pretext. In the contemporary era, also, India is with 1,000 doors as there is brain drain and people immigrating to foreign arenas. The title House of 1,000 Doors also signifies that India as a nation imparted significance to both individuality and feeling of community. The poem begins with an affirmation that this house has 1,000 doors and is therefore singular as illustrated by the demonstrative this. The sills are cut in bronze, bronze being an alloy in again is again representative of the amalgamation of different cultures. It is cut out 3 feet high to keep out snakes. The poetess perhaps satirizes the Western construction of India as a land of snakes and snake charmers. The owners of the house or Indians were judicious enough to do so and also kept away the other repulsive beings like rats and toads. Weeds often grow in wet areas and points to the monsoon season in Kerala. Twilight is the time between dawn and sunrise. It is during that time that the sun rises as though he is burning down the Kerala coast, like typical Kerala houses. The roof is tiled in red. Contrasted against it is the silver lightning road. The crow is set out to dawn land's end as it is bound towards Norway. Probably it is positioned at the vanishing point, which is why the poetess says that the crow is positioned nowhere. The word nowhere may also signify lack of hope in a dystopian setting. In dreams, waves lift a silken fan in grandmother's hand. The reference to grandmother suggests the lost old world charm that is now captured only in dreams. As the light bars her more and more, it reveals her as naked as truth itself, as contrasted with a made up world with a superficial coating. She kneels at each one of the 1,000 doors in turn. The saying goes that if God closes one door, he will open another. Here, the grandmother is not worried about the doors. Rather, she is grateful and blessed that each one exists and pays her due, that these doors do exist in her life. The speaker also hears in the darkness a flute played by a bride. The old grandmother is juxtaposed against the young bride, and music is set against ritual. Perhaps the poor folk thing mentioned in the very next stanza refers to the bivalent aspect of womanhood, as both young and old, mother and daughter, synchronization and solemnity. So here again, the bivalent means the duality. Okay, the duality of woman. They can be acted as a young mother, daughter, etc. A poor folk thing, I watched her kneel in all my lifetime, imploring the household gods who will not let her in. The woman kneels all her lifetime, driven by a patriarchal setup, and keeps imploring with the male gods who will not let her in. The word gods is not capitalized, suggesting their commonplace nature. It also forms a compound noun here, prefixing the word household, thereby domesticating them. When the poetess says, I watch her kneel in all my lifetime, she presents an objective picture of womanhood. The woman here also stands for India, who stands kneeling before colonial powers, her back bent by oppression. Decades after colonization, the speaker sees her in the same position as she is again suppressed by the neo-colonialism. She has an ambivalent existence, which is why India is called a poor forked thing. The phenomenon is exemplified in adjectives like secular, where secular means nothing to do with religion, and at the same time respect for all the religions.
Where is the House of Thousand Doors located? On the Kerala coast. Question number 3. The sills in the House of a Thousand Doors are cut in bronze. In which book Meena Alexander's poem published? Answer: Poems and Prose Pieces, 1988. Who is the most influential person in the life of the speaker of the poem? Her grandmother. Answer is her grandmother. Question number 6. The roof of the house of a thousand doors tiled in which color? Red color. Next question. Who kneels at each of the thousand doors in turn? Answer: the grandmother of the speaker. Next question. Who is a poor folk thing in the poem? Answer: the grandmother. Next question. How does Meena Alexander present her grandmother in the poem? As a figure of myth. What are the central themes? Conciliation and unity with the culture and solidity of the past. The title House of the Thousand Doors means the many doors welcome all the cultures and religions like Hindu, Christian, Muslim, Jain, etc. Meena Alexander is a dash poet, Indian poet. House of Thousand Door is about nostalgic feelings of a young girl. Next question. How does she begin her poem? Answer. Describing the appearance of a home. What does her grandmother carry? A silken fan. Wishery. What does the grandmother kneels at each of thousand doors in turn, paying her endless due to the past? Do the ancestors let her in? Answer. They do not. Next question. Why don't they let her in? Answer. Shows the suppression of women in a patriarchal society. House of the Thousand Doors stands for Kerala itself. Kerala's religion heritage is mentioned in the poem: Hindu, Christian, Muslim, and Jain.